Hi guys, welcome back to Fit for the Trails. For those who are new here, I'm Jay. So today we are going to discuss about building your endurance for cycling without a bike. So this is very relevant kasi we are all in quarantine and we cannot ride our bikes outside. So in the first video I made, I discussed about the 5 fitness health components, which are cardiovascular endurance, muscular strength endurance, maximal strength, mobility, and body composition. So a lot of you asked for an in-depth discussion on endurance and some tips on how to develop endurance. Endurance is the foundation of performance. So it's important that we develop it right away so we can enjoy its benefits like longer stamina and faster recovery. So we can do things that are above endurance in the performance pyramid. Before we begin working out, we have to ask the question. So how do we measure our physical condition and performance? And how do we get to our specific goals? So for endurance, we normally use 3 parameters: heart rate, VO2 max, and lactate threshold. So yung heart rate mo is your heart's beats per minute. So if you're a beginner, you normally feel a big difference between your resting heart rate and your working heart rate. But as you train, you will slowly feel that difference between your resting heart rate and your working heart rate is much lower. That is because when we train, we actually develop our heart's capacity to carry more blood. So our heart's job is to pump more blood into our working muscles. So if you're a beginner, you have a lower capacity. That's why kailangan mo mag-pump na mag-pump. Okay? Next, VO2 max. VO2 max is our body's maximum oxygen consumption during exercise. So, just like with the heart rate, okay, as a beginner, less yung capacity ng lungs mo to take in more oxygen. Okay? So, as you train, you adapt, and you increase that level of volume of oxygen that you can take in. Okay? So that's why later on, pag mas matagal ka na nagpo-bike, less na yung hingal. And lastly, yung lactate threshold. Lactate threshold is your body's capacity to tolerate lactic acid. Ngayon, yung lactic acid naman is a metabolic byproduct of exercise. So, for a beginner, mas mabilis kung ma-feel yung effects ng byproduct na to. So, that is in a form of naninigas yung muscle mo, bumibigat yung pakiramdam mo, that you cannot move any further. But as you train, nabibuild mo yung tolerance mo, and you can actually use lactic acid as another source of energy. Ngayon, among these 3 parameters, I think it would be, among them, heart rate would be the most practical thing to use because one, it's easier to test and we don't need much special equipment for this. Kasi when we talk about VO2 max and lactic threshold, we normally use a cycle ergometer and we need to draw blood so that we can get the measurements, and we don't have the tools for that. So I think we'll just stick to heart rate, and we can actually use the normal way of getting your heart rate using your fingers to your carotid artery. You can also use your smartwatches. You can use a Bluetooth chest strap or a oximeter na I bought for 2,000 pesos from Mercury Drugstore. Now, how do we get to our specific goal? Or ano ba yung mechanism of adaptation ng endurance? So, importante that we take note of our intensity and our duration. So, for endurance, we need to work between 50% to 85% of our heart rate. And we need to do that for 20 minutes up to 60 minutes. We can see improvements in our endurance 4 weeks to around 8 weeks. So, what do we need to do first? So, we need to first test our resting heart rate. So, I will be testing my heart rate now. Okay, right now it's 56. Okay, 56 beats per minute. Okay? We need that so we can get our values for the remaining computations. The things we have to look for aside from your resting heart rate are your max heart rate and your heart rate reserve. Max heart rate is your maximum heart rate at your age, and your heart rate reserve is the difference between your max heart rate and your resting heart rate. To get your maximum heart rate, you simply subtract your age from 220. Example, I'm 30 years old, so 220 minus 30 is equivalent to 190 beats per minute. To get our heart rate reserve, we just simply subtract our resting heart rate from our maximum heart rate. So earlier I got 190 beats per minute for my maximum heart rate and 56 beats per minute for my resting heart rate. So that is equivalent to 134 beats per minute. After getting all the needed values, we will now solve for our working heart rate. So percent intensity multiplied by heart rate reserve, and once you get the product, you add that to your resting heart rate. So for example, we have 60% and 80% effort. So my 60% effort should be at 136.4 BPM, while my 80% should be at 163.2 BPM. Ngayon na marunong na tayo kumuha ng heart rate natin, kailangan naman natin mamili ng activity or exercise na pwede natin gawin for 20 to 60 minutes. One of the simplest things to do is running. So for me, I do a 20-minute run every other day at 50 to 60% of my heart rate just to keep my endurance. So you can also do brisk walking for 20 minutes or more as long as you're hitting your target heart rate. Kung wala kang space para tumakbo and gusto mo pa rin tumakbo, you can always do stationary running. Although mas boring nga lang siya doon sa actual running. Dito, I'm using extra resistance to add challenge. Another version of running that you can do is interval running. So, mas higher intensity siya with short breaks in between. So, yung breaks in between does not necessarily allow you to rest completely kasi mas malapit lang siya dun sa lower working heart rate mo. And this is good exercise for those na meron ng foundation in endurance kasi nakakaubo siya. So, you need to be able to recover faster to maximize its benefits. And also, maganda siya for races kasi low and high intensity. My last suggestion for building your endurance is by doing circuit training. So, circuit training is a collection of exercises that you will do continuously without stopping. So, you can base it by time or by repetition. So it is very challenging kasi it does not only challenge your cardiovascular endurance but also your strength endurance. So, it is important na mamili ka ng exercises na kaya mong gawin na maganda ang form, consistently, and continuously. So, if ever meron kang 20 exercises na 30 seconds each, that is already 10 minutes of workout. So, if you want to do 20 minutes of workout, do 2 sets of that. And also, you should monitor your rest intervals. So, rest interval should not be more than 2 minutes. So, importante na shorter siya para makuha natin yung benefits of our workout. So, hindi natin hahayaan na bumalik sa resting heart rate yung heart rate natin. So, we must be able to continuously challenge our body so we will develop endurance. If you're going to do all the suggestions I made, it's better if you're going to do it alternately. So your body has time to recover from the high intensity cardio that you're going to do. So for example, MWF, running, and then TTH, you can do your circuit training. There you have it, guys. So I hope na may natutunan kayo sa bagong video na to. Please stay safe and remain fit for the trails.